Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Cavern Kings, Beta 27, with me, Atantuo. Alright, I want to give it another shot. I'm gonna pick Shark again, since I've pretty much gotten used to just how much damage he deals. And I also I'm gonna try out the kick beam cannon once more. It seems like a very cool concept. I can see it becoming really awesome once you get like multiple projectiles and just lots of extra effects, like maybe exploding bullets and all that. And combined with his damage, just how much damage he deals, it could be really good. Also, Shovel is really, I think for a normal run, it's actually the only viable option. I mean, technically the jackhammer, the jackhammer is good, but the one huge disadvantage that it has is it's lacking the range to deal with those rotating saws. I guess it's technically possible to. Well, could I please not fail at simple platforming? It's technically possible to. I've seen people destroy them, or destroy the blocks they're attached to with the jackhammer without taking damage, but I don't know. Whenever I try it, I take damage. It's maybe a matter of a few pixels of that you have to get as close as you need to. So it's really in the heat of the moment. It's usually not possible to effectively and efficiently do. So that's the one big disadvantage that it has. And also, I don't. Maybe jackhammer is a bit quicker at digging through more difficult terrain. It might be, but I'm not even completely convinced that it is. Of course, I mean, obviously the shovel is much slower. It's a much slower swing speed, but that's obviously offset by its much larger per hit damage. So I think between the two, it's really the only viable, or the more viable option. And well, let's not talk about the kinetic fist at all. That's just, I mean, it has its own benefits, or it's one benefit that it allows you to do some additional platforming with it, since it's you can basically use it as another jump, or even an infinitely chainable jump. But yeah, it's just so bad as a digging instrument. It's gonna end up, at least for me, it ends up endangering me more than it helps me. And as soon as you get some flying bracers, which you should definitely hope to get in any case. Could I please get my power up? Thank you. I mean, it's obviously you can't 100% rely on getting a flying bracer, let alone several, unless of course the run becomes super good and over a certain amount of time you're pretty much guaranteed to get one of each item. However, you want one as early as possible, of course, to give you the mobility to reach wherever you need to go without having to do some difficult parkouring while trying to dodge and kill enemies all at the same time. That's just not always gonna happen. Or it's, at the very least, gonna make your life much more difficult than it is. So, of course, for those early stages where you don't have the flying bracers, Kinetic Fist can be super useful. No doubt about that. But more often than not, it ends up getting me damaged or even killed by carrying me way farther than I was intending to, into saws, into enemies. It's just all kinds of terrible. For me, again, other people might be able to handle it better. I'm sure they are. But for me it doesn't work. So I'm not even gonna give it a try anymore. However, the different the different missile weapons or guns, I guess. They all have their raison d'être, if you will, their reason to exist. Even the dynamite or the TNT sling, that's just as likely, if not more likely, to get you killed than the kinetic fist is. Even that one I'm not completely done with. I'm definitely going to give that one another honest try. I haven't used it in quite some time. I don't think I've ever used it on camera, so that might be something I will end up doing, maybe soon, we'll see. I can see it becoming super powerful. I don't think I've ever had a run where I lasted long enough to really accumulate many power-ups, and I've also completely missed that shop up there. That's super unfortunate. I would really have liked to get at least one, or yeah, well, I guess one black hole box. Oh well. Would have been slightly hard to reach anyway. Sure, I could have done it if I had noticed it before, or earlier than I did. But alas, it was not meant to be. Let's not linger in the past. I gotta say, this gun is already seems pretty powerful. I'm pretty much one-shotting everything so far. I mean, obviously, these are still the very the weakest enemies in the game. Even these rock bros are not that terribly hard to deal with, but yeah, it feels reasonably powerful. The fire rate is okay, I guess. It's obviously no nail gun. It's not even a. I think it's slightly slower than the saw blade launcher, which is not the correct name. I'm aware, but for some reason I'm unable to remember what it's supposed to be called. Oh well. As long as you know what I'm talking about, I'm okay with that. Do I want to blow these up? Maybe. It's gonna happen at some point anyway. Okay, this Siren's Harp stuns every enemy. Oh wow, another drop just like that. Okay, that's a much better one. Gladly gonna take that. That's also, obviously, adding this laser sight is really helpful with aiming. It does say that it boosts accuracy. I don't know if that is like a literal... if that's taken... if that is to be taken literally. Like actual reduce in weapon spread, since there is a slight variation. You don't always shoot exactly where you aim. It's normally pretty much negligible. Hey, thanks, Rockbro. That's that was not very nice of you. What am I gonna take here? I have enough to open this first and foremost. Okay, Phoenix Pinion is decent. Since I already have a Cyclops Skull, I took that Resplendent Vial. Well, that was some unfortunate damage right there. Let's try to not take any more in this floor. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna whatever health is. I'm not gonna get whatever health was in that box up there. I could get one more, yeah, sure, why not? Who knows when and if I'm gonna take another or get another upgrade. Also, I was not expecting to see the boss this soon. I guess I should have paid attention. And also, this is a really bad spot to be in. Wow, that... I have never seen this boss home in on me like that. That was really mean. I don't know if I could have gotten out of there. I mean, I guess if I had just had slightly more health than I did, I might have been able to squeeze out. I was almost out of his sprite, but that was really unfortunate. I'm not sure I realistically had any chance of avoiding that. Almost looked like my shots kind of budged him over in my direction. Not sure how that happened. Well, that was an 8-minute run. I know I said on the previous episode that I was gonna keep it to 1 run per episode, but 8 minutes seems a bit short. So let's just do the same thing again. Hopefully a bit more, well, a bit less unlucky, I guess. I felt that it was really not going terrible at all. Okay, well, we're starting off with a water level. That's not great in and of itself. However, maybe that means that we will get less water levels later on, so that would be definitely preferable. We also start out with rock bots or rock bros, or I don't know. I guess I don't have a real consistent way of referring to them. But that's pretty good. They give lots of experience. They are manageable with what damage we have. Again, this weapon is not too terrible, actually. The added benefit that it also ricochets and pierces enemies is all pretty solid. Okay. Yeah, well, over 1,000 for the first floor in gems. It's pretty good. Level 3, also not bad at all. Okay, have we anything up here? Okay, good. I was able to grab these. Now I can blow that up. And grab these 2 boxes. 1,700 gems on the second floor. That feels very solid, and we're not nearly done. These worms are also one of my preferred enemies to meet early on. They're not too dangerous. If there are really many of them, they can overwhelm you, but just the fact alone that they drop so much health, they're easily the most health drop friendly or most generous enemies in terms of health drops. So, okay, here we go. It's no flying bracer, but it's I'd say it's almost as important. Although, if I could choose what items to take, what items to get, I would probably take flying bracers first. But these black hole boxes are really useful in the long run. Flying bracers are useful to have as early as you possibly can. And I think I said it last time, 2 of them, 2 flying bracers, are really all you absolutely need. Everything beyond that is just an extra bonus. But 2 should be enough to dodge around projectiles and enemies and reach wherever you need to go on any map. With black hole boxes, there's also, I'm not sure about quite about the number you need. So 2 is enough to pull in health packs. That's good. Obviously, more black hole boxes are always good because they're gonna increase the radius of your magnetism. However, there are certain thresholds, and I think it takes 2 to actually start homing in or start pulling in health packs at all. I don't think at 1. I don't think you're gonna start attracting them at only 1 black hole box at all. And it's gonna take a couple more, maybe like 3, 4, or even 5, before you start attracting power-ups. At least that's how it used to work, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm gonna be able to verify that on the next power-up that I find. Like this one? Yeah, it does not budge at all when I get close, so I need to, even though I have 2 black hole boxes, I need to still walk all the way into it to collect it. Yeah, if I can get any more boxes, that's gonna help with that as well. Okay, we have these, okay. That's why I like the shovel so much, because we can relatively easily deal with these things. There would have been a steel box up there, but oh well. Ice stage. Pretty much if I survive an ice stage without taking too much damage, I'm gonna call that a win. So if I can get any benefit without losing too much health on an ice level, or a water level for that matter, I'm always gonna be happy. And for those special environments, I'm always gonna prefer leaving early and cutting my losses to staying any longer than I absolutely need to. I mean, sometimes they're non-threatening depending on, I guess, terrain layout and enemy setup. Like, this one is nice and open, and we seem to have enemies that are fairly dealable with. Over here, missiles? Missiles are good. I like missiles. Maybe not the most powerful upgrade. They used to be pretty good. I think they used to scale with your... Oh wow, we also have all the damage upgrades in the known universe, and I can afford at least one. Okay, that's good. Cluster of Iron, right? That's what it's called. So yeah, missiles used to be really, really good. Overpoweredly so. So they got nerfed, understandably. Now, from what I understand, unless they've changed it again, they only scale with just the number of upgrades that you have, the number of missile expansions, which is also going to influence. Still not the right word, but whatever. The number of missiles that you're gonna shoot, or how often they proc from your normal attacks. But still, I like that I just fire some extra bullets, basically extra projectiles that home in on enemies and kill stuff that I'm not directly taking care of. So while I shoot this enemy over here, my missiles would take care of, or could take care of, an enemy that is behind me, for example. It's not gonna be much, but thanks for that cluster of iron, by the way. That's much appreciated. I mean, obviously, even though Shark has so much damage just baseline without any further upgrades, just because of his very, very powerful passive skill, passive ability. Obviously, every additional damage power-up, like clusters of iron and specifically scattershot, and it's also going to be, well, there are going to be several that directly increase my projectile damage, my main weapon damage. So everything that I can get additionally is obviously going to help a lot. Okay. Care of these, please. Oh, okay, well, that was he died easier, or even more quickly than I expected him to, and also I got that I didn't quite pay attention to the name of the item, but it's the one that increases your digging power, which is a really, really good thing to have in the long run. As many of those as I can possibly get are gonna be very much appreciated, because we're gonna reach a point fairly soon, actually. Wow, okay. Giga Drill Bit, I think they changed the name on that. That doesn't ring a bell. Doesn't sound familiar. I mean, oh, hey, thanks Worm for just opening that. Just like that. I guess I could ditch if I want to. But yeah, anyway, to finish that train of thought, so we're gonna reach a point in the game fairly soon where terrain starts to become more and more difficult to even dig through. And that's gonna be obviously an obvious problem when I need to make an exit from a stage sooner rather than later to maybe escape some giga worms, or I don't know, for all kinds of reasons. Sometimes you really need to to leave as soon as you possibly can, and when there is super durable terrain in the way, that can be extremely deadly. So yeah, I feel really good with 4 of these right now. That should help tremendously. So let's not get crushed by this steel block if we can. That would also help. Yeah. Well, I could afford one more, but I'm not going to. Rather, I feel that 4 of those are pretty good for now. Those should definitely help and be fine for quite some time yet. And I'm glad I didn't spend more of my money, because, well, never mind. I guess the game really wants me to have all the Giga Drill Bits. In that case, of course, I'm not gonna refuse. Okay, there we have a shadowy worm that got destroyed by the ceiling saw, I guess. So I couldn't quite gauge how long it would have taken me to kill it with my normal shots. However, they definitely seem a lot tankier than any other kind of enemy. Definitely tankier than normal elites. So yeah, luckily they're somewhat rare, at least in the stages of the game that I've been able to reach as of late. Like that 32-minute run that I had earlier, that you maybe saw the ending of, the somewhat unfortunate conclusion. I don't know. I mean, during those 30 minutes, I saw maybe, I don't know, half a dozen, less than 10, I'd say, of those, and they only start showing up after, well, you just saw the first one showing up, so you can look at the timestamp there. I can't really. Okay, this is a survival stage. I'm glad they made it so that you can tell just by the type of hatch what kind of arena it is. So, wow, we get more and more of these. Okay, I mean, I guess it's good. Certainly there are a lot worse upgrades to have, and I prefer having a plethora of these to not having any. That's for sure. There are way too many runs where I don't even see any of those. Oh, and we have another, or we have a shadowy crawler. That one, however, seemed to die much more easily. I mean, it's likely just an upscaled version of the normal enemies, so since normal crawlers are relatively weak in terms of HP and everything else, even an upscaled version is not gonna be super dangerous or super tanky, whereas those big worms are already relatively beefy as in their normal form, so any upscaled version of those is obviously going to be that much more dangerous. Well, there were quite a few boxes up there that I unfortunately didn't get, but that's fine. Okay, that was a good shot, I guess. Not entirely intentional, but I'm happy with the way it turned out. Okay, that's a bit closer to that saw than I'd like to be. Also, I do not like this one in the floor here. Oh, please take care of these kids here, and also that chest before it's too late, before the saw comes. I guess I'm not gonna worry about the floor saw there. I'm just gonna stay on this side of the screen and let the gems rain down on me. I really like these wide open stages with eye clouds, because they just shower you in gems like there's no tomorrow. Really good. So I see those spikes there. I'm a huge fan, because they force me to destroy the terrain. I'd rather keep as even as possible so enemies don't get stuck or anything. Although we do seem to have only those flying worms here, so that's not an issue in this case. However, it does become slightly annoying when there's eye kids and rock bots walking towards you or trying to, and when you have to create little edges in the terrain, they get stuck and they jump and evade your projectiles that way, and well, it's just all kinds of inconvenient. Oh well. A single spike. Hey there. Okay. Let's get this. Another missile. Much appreciated. And we have snipers. But since we have a basically infinite range weapon, they are not a problem at all. We're also powerful enough to kill them in 1 hit, it looks like. 1 hits, yeah, well. 2 hits. It's easy to confuse 1 and 2, right? I bet that happens to most people on a regular basis. Well. One hits. Okay, this is a super easy boss. I should not have any trouble with it whatsoever. It's easy to dodge. Doesn't deal too much damage. It's also pretty easy to hit, actually. And it moves completely predictably. I mean, I did manage to get hit anyway. The one big disadvantage to this boss compared to others is that its arena never has any additional items or gems or anything. It's completely devoid of anything, and I don't like this stage at all. So I'm gonna get out of there. Okay, well, got hit by this spike. There was really not too much I could do about that. I wonder, okay, I already had one of these. Maybe I should take some more? Or should I diversify my loadout? Yeah, I guess I'm gonna take this. Now, of course, I don't have enough. Oh, don't run into spikes, please. If I could refrain from doing that. Well, yeah, okay. Never mind, I was able to make the required amount of money for this chest up here much quicker than I expected. At this point, I guess just a couple hundred gems are gonna be earned in just a matter of seconds, usually. That's definitely good. Unfortunately, we are also at the point where items from shops are starting to get quite expensive. I'm not going to try and get that wooden box up there. I mean, there is a slight chance it could have an item, so you should probably, or you should really try to open every box that you can, even wooden boxes. But, well, in some cases it just doesn't feel worth the extra effort. Maybe I would have put more effort in for a metal box. Maybe. Okay, well, here we have one that's easy to reach, so that's obviously a no-brainer. And we get rewarded with an item. Nice. I really like to see that. And what have we here? Another piercing oculus for, well, basically more damage. As soon as we hit an enemy, assuming that we don't one-shot it anyway, which is the case with these enemies here. So we're not gonna see the benefit. I mean, you already know what it does anyway, so I don't know why I'm even explaining these very basic upgrades. I guess it's just something to talk about. So yeah, it just puts a debuff on enemies and makes them take more damage. So it's basically every shot after your first is gonna deal increased damage. That's obviously particularly important on bosses and very, very tanky enemies that are gonna survive several hits. Oh, and our first bomb. Wow. That took a long time for one of those to show up. Oh, and now that I think about it, I don't think I even saw a single one of those during my 30-minute run earlier. Huh, interesting. Such a discrepancy between arena mode, where they show up constantly, pretty much at consistent intervals. And here they're almost completely absent. Oh wow, we have our first silver chest that costs 2,000 to open. We're almost there. I'd really like to not jump into these spikes, and I'd also really like to open this golden chest if I can. Though I might be able to. The blocks beneath it are a bit cracked, so I must have been hitting it. Maybe that's just from shooting it. Oh well. Okay. I did get the gems anyway. Oh, wow, that could have killed me. I also got that moss clump. I think that's crits heal me, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So critical hits become even more beneficial than they already were, and I now have a way of extra healing. It's not super consistent, of course, but I'll gladly take it. This is also a pretty good stage to farm, I guess. These worms are relatively easy to deal with, as long as they're coming from the sides and not trying to be sneaky and coming from underneath. I don't know if they even can. So far they're all coming from either the left or right edge of the screen. But yeah, that was pretty good. Pretty good floor all in all. I feel like taking out this saw, and I almost took damage for doing so. That wasn't ideal. Oh, we have enough for another one of these, so yeah, crits give you health. Great. That's pretty awesome. So what I need now, obviously, is more crits. And apparently one of these. Not a huge fan of these homestuck shards, as some people like to call them. They used to be better, for sure. I'm not sure why they nerfed them so much. I mean, maybe the damage they deal is really, really good to compensate the lack of like coverage that they have. I really don't know. I have yet to get like a huge number of those to note and notice how they destroy or don't destroy my enemies. Okay, rock rose. Technically a good thing. Not necessarily a huge fan of those thundering electric elites, I don't know how to call them. However, I'm dealing enough damage to deal with even those before they can reach me if I end up hitting them. Okay. Well, let's grab some of these greedily and get out of here. Okay, that was slightly close-ish. Okay, let's dodge. Well, almost dodged. Oh, well, okay. I guess I dodged. Thought I might not be able to. That was a pretty bad job on my part. Oh, and we get more of these apparently. 7 drills, man. Giga drill bits. Okay, I was gonna say my health doesn't seem to regenerate. I'm tempted to stay on this boss arena and let my health regenerate just a little bit. Guess I'm gonna pause the recording for a couple minutes. Well, I guess that should be fine. It took a couple minutes. Health regenerates really slowly. However, well, the game gives me the opportunity to wait in boss arenas indefinitely. And sometimes, you know, it's times like these when I'm gonna take the opportunity. Oh, wow, okay. Well, we have lots of saws, which I don't like, but we also have lots of good stuff here. Let's maybe... Oh god, we also have these. Haha, crap. I'm not a fan. Get out of here, worms. Okay, that's not good. Okay, that's something. And I'm probably dead here. Yeah. I'm super dead. Well, all that waiting for nothing. And it was a saw that killed me. Ah, how anticlimactic. I guess I really didn't need to wait there to regenerate my health, huh? Is that karma biting me for using that? I guess it could be called an exploit. I didn't quite make it to half an hour, but it was a pretty good run, all in all. Kick beam cannon feels pretty good actually once you have sufficient damage upgrades. These drills seemed a little bit underwhelming just for how many I had. It still took me quite a while to dig through more difficult terrain, so I feel like they may be a little bit weak. I mean, it can't really be expected to get this many this early on, and still the effect was pretty minimal. That left me a little bit underwhelmed. Yeah. Anyway, a kick beam cannon pretty good, although for those giant worms at the end, I mean, I guess I killed 1 or 2 ultimately, but they really don't feel like they have the same kind of impact a upgraded saw launcher or nail gun has. But well, I guess every weapon will have its advantages and disadvantages, and that's just the nature of the game. Anyway, that was a pretty decent run, and I certainly had fun, for sure. I hope you did too. If you did, please hit like, comment, subscribe, and see you very soon. Till then, have a wonderful time, and bye-bye.